Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome guys. In this video we're going to be discussing are Asharis Jabaris or not. Actually, I had already planned on making this video, but I didn't do it yet. I was just waiting because I was really busy. I wasn't busy actually. I just didn't make it yet. But someone recently asked me that question much more directly, that are Asharis not Jabaris? And there was one guy trolling my channel, let me not say trolling, but he was like kind of saying that you're an Ashari, therefore you're a Jabari, you're just faking it. You're a Jabari, but you're in disguise. Okay, so you're like fake. Your position leads to fatalism. So basically, Jabaris are like, in Islamic tradition, they are the fatalists. Those who say that God has determined everything, therefore we are not free, therefore we are being forced. You see, people don't understand there's also some clauses before you can be called a Jabari. It's not just determinism, and that's what we're going to be getting into today. It's not just determinism that makes you a Jabari or a fatalist. Okay, you have to add some other extra clauses, like I couldn't have done otherwise, in a very strong sense. So before we get into that, there's a very important principle that I want you to understand that will help us in this dialogue. It is called the principle of alternate possibility or alternative possibility. The principle of alternative possibility says that all things being equal, both internally and externally to you, at that moment of your choice, you could have done otherwise. So let's say all the factors being equal, both internally and externally, you always have the option. So possibilities are real in a very strong sense that you could have always done otherwise. It was possible for all the factors leading up to that choice to be exactly the same, and you could have still done something else other than what you did. So the Asharis and the Compatibilists, they deny this, of course. First of all, the people that will deny this will be the determinists, of course. But now the question of free will is going to come back. So when people say they are compatibilists and they say free will is compatible with determinism, they are not talking about the principle of alternate possibility, because that is the libertarian free will. That's libertarian free will. Libertarian free will says principle of alternative possibility is necessary for you to be free. If you don't have this, you're not free. But actually, it's a very radical position to say that all the factors influencing your decision up to that moment have nothing to say in what you are going to choose eventually. It's a very radical position. Some people even call it magical. It's something like you cannot explain it. You cannot explain. That's why most atheists, they don't even hold this position, by the way. It's not something you can explain. It's not possible. Because what we know is that we are influenced, whether it is internally or externally, when we make our choice, our decision. So anyway, so the Jabaris, who are they? The Jabaris will be those that are determinists, saying that everything is based on prior factors and everything is determined. There's no possibility of change. But they also add an extra clause that there's no responsibility is impossible. So they will say determinism is incompatible with free will. With free will, whether it is principle of alternative, whether it is libertarian free will, or it is the other free will that the compatibilists want to hold. So the Jabaris they are incompatibilist determinists. Okay, whereas the Asharis, they are determinists too, and I think all Muslims will be determinists because you believe in Qadar. The people that don't believe in Qadar are Qadariya. You're not Qadariya, are you? Okay, so if you believe in Qadar, of course everything is determined, predestination. Right? The question now is, are we free? The Jabaris, they say we are not free. And they say they are not responsible. God is responsible for whatever happens. Whereas the Asharis don't say that. The Asharis have the theory of cusp, literally. That we are responsible, not God. We are responsible. What's even this verse in the Quran that speaks of... Anyway, the point is that the Asharis are determinists, compatibilists. That's what you categorize them. They are compatibilists. Because they say we are responsible, not God. And the Jabaris, they say God is responsible, not them. And they kind of say that they are forced. That's another clause you should understand. The Jabaris are saying, you see me, I'm just like a neutral person, and God is just pushing me to do things. Whereas the Asharis, they will have a stronger concept of a person. That's why they might not use it in the compatibility sense that we have today, but they will say things like, the acts that you do voluntarily, you are responsible for it. The ones that you do involuntarily, God is causing all of them. But if God causes you to do something voluntarily, then you are responsible for it. So you're not responsible for involuntary actions. Maybe you were shivering. You're not responsible for that. But you're responsible for voluntary ones. And that is compatibilism. So the next time someone says that Asharis and Jabaris is just playing out false, they don't understand the things you have to go into before you get that. Anyway, more on the principle of alternative possibility. That is the libertarian view. The libertarians are saying you must have this for free will to be possible. Whereas the compatibilists or the Asharis, they don't see this principle is too strong, given that we are created by God and given a providence, and they don't even see it as necessary for culpability or moral responsibility. They believe we are conditioned, okay? Whereas the free will that the libertarians are talking about is unconditioned free will, whereas our own free will is conditioned, okay? So what else should I add to this? Yeah, so basically that's the main point that I want to address in this video. So what we need for free will is for you to be conscious of your decision and you did it voluntarily. That's all you need to be responsible. Whether someone is manipulating you, whether someone is causing you, all those arguments fades away. When you are conscious of your voluntary action, that's enough. We don't need to go to this radical libertarian free will thing that nobody has. Nobody can. You can't. Anyone that is defending that position, they can't explain it. They will just appeal to mystery. You get it? So Asharis are not Jabaris. That's the point of the video. They are compatibilists. Okay? Anyone that is determinist but is incompatibilist, they are the Jabaris, and we are not. Anyway, see you guys later. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.